Hello, YouTube. It is Jackie here, and I am glad to have you join me. Today is going to be a perfume tray review video where I select several perfumes out of my collection, I wear them during the week, and I just have a sit down and tell you about the performance of some of these perfumes. The perfumes that I'll be talking about today, some I've had in my collection for years, and some are pretty new to my collection. So I just want to do these videos so that I can introduce you guys to some more mass market perfumes, give you some perfumes and some smell good scents that are truly very affordable and I think that are pretty accessible. A lot of times when it comes to perfumes, I like to shirts at rack stores such as Burlington, Ross, TJ Maxx, the works, and when it comes to perfumes, I really just like the idea of fragrance. I feel like they know how to help alleviate a mood, help you identify with yourself, maybe add a little bit of confidence, sex appeal, inspiration, really whatever you need. And so I just want to go ahead and then talk about some of these scents that I've tried out during this week so that I can give you my perspective and my experience with wearing them. So, in today's video, I have several, seven different scents that I want to go over with you, and give you my thoughts on them. So, this video may take a little bit of time. Definitely feel free to grab a cup of coffee or some tea or whatever your vice is, and get cozy because I'm gonna just walk you through each of these seven fragrances that I've tried through the week and tell you my thoughts on them. Now, let me go ahead and just jump into it. So, the very first fragrance that I actually would like to pick up is going to be called Flaunt Rouge. Flaunt Rouge is this bottle right here. I've had this bottle in my collection for almost 3 years. Flaunt Rouge is a perfume that is supposed to be a dupe for Baccarat Rouge 540. And I picked this up at my mall kiosk. I actually overpaid for this because at the time I paid about $50 for it, and he was trying to sell it to me for like 100. But I was like, that's too much. So I talked him down to $50. But even when I went back to check the availability on this perfume before making this video, you can get this off of Fragrance Net for like $19. So that's kind of crazy. But I've had this for 3 years. It's supposed to be very similar to Baccarat Rouge 540. The notes that are in here include jasmine, saffron, almond, cedarwood, musk, and ambergris. I do enjoy this scent. I've had it for so long because this is a beast, I will admit it. Every time I wear this, I never wear more than 3 sprays. And trust me, I love to overspray a perfume. If I can bathe myself in perfume, I will. But this one is definitely one you want to be very, very careful with. Now, I do believe that it smells very much like the original Baccarat. I have to say it. I definitely feel like this very, very closely mimics the original Baccarat. The only thing that I would say about this is that it lasts forever, and it rejects like crazy. Like, I've gotten tons of compliments on this pretty much every time I wear this. And the thing is, it's like that person doesn't even have to be close to me. Like, they can be like 10, 15 feet away. If I'm in the elevator, everybody's gonna know that I'm in the elevator. They're gonna smell me. This is a scent that's very much for the bold. And I feel like Baccarat Rouge is such a popular scent now that when it comes to the dupes, everybody kind of is expecting to smell it because it's a very sweet, florally kind of perfume. Very jasmine, cedarwood, center. And it doesn't mention any citruses in here, but it's like slightly lemony or slightly, there's some sort of citrus in here that maybe it's a piney smell, I don't know. But there's some scent in here that I really do like. Um, and so when I wore this, like I said, I would wear maybe 3 sprays. I've had it for 3 years and made quite a bit of a dent. So now I'm down to like my last, I'll say like 15 milliliters of this perfume. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of babysitting it. It's at the point where it's like I had it for so long that when I first bought it, I was in love with this fragrance, but now I've had enough of it. I have to say, like, it doesn't stink. by any means. I don't hate the way it smells, but it's so sweet that over the course of 3 years, I just kind of became sick of it. So I have put this away in my collection for a long time. It's just been in the background, and I hardly ever reach for it. But because I know that I have such a small amount left in here, last week I did choose to pull this out of my collection just so I can work on getting this dent to go away and empty it finally. So when I wore I'm sorry, not Baccarat, when I wore Flaunt Rouge by Joseph Prive in the last week, I did wear this in combination with this other perfume I have here called Good Sky Girl by Mirada. So Good Sky Girl is a perfume that I purchased from Burlington for about $14.99. It is a dupe or a inspired by or replica perfume for Very Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. Good Sky Girl has notes of lychee, red currant, rose, vetiver, vanilla, and tonka bean. This smells super good, super florally, somewhat fruity, and it's really pretty. I think it's like a very feminine scent, very like kind of like innocent, but also sexy at the same time. I don't know how you can collaborate those two like ideals, but it is feminine and sexy at the same time. I do like this scent. It performs very, very well. Much like Flaunt Rouge, this also has a great performance time. Flaunt Rouge, I can spray it on and it'll last me the entire day. It will last until I wash my clothes, so I don't like to spray it on my clothes. Um, and then as far as Good Sky Girl lasts the entire day. No need to respray. It definitely doesn't become a skin scent. Like I can respray, but it doesn't become a skin scent. Now the only difference is that this one doesn't project as much as Flaunt Rouge does. This one you can very much smell this in your own scent bubble, but it's not one of those things that like everybody by default is gonna smell you unless they're like within the maybe about 2 or 3 feet of you. So I feel like the performance of this isn't necessarily going to be the same as the original Very Good Girl, but it definitely does have a great performance. It does project at least in a reasonable amount, you know, like if I can smell myself and I know that I smell good and it's one of those things that I don't become anosmic to it, but I can smell it throughout the day, it's good enough for me. I do like the overspray. I do like to have a great ciliage. I do love good projection, but at the same time, if I smell good, I smell good, and that's okay. I don't need anything else. So, with that being said, I really do like this fragrance. I have made a bit of a dent. I had this for like 2 months already, and I picked it up a couple of times, but I didn't really wear it that much. But the dent that I made is literally right above the D in Good Girl. So within like saying like a week of wearing this to even make that much of a dent, I think it's kind of impressive because it shows that I actually really do like this scent. And this is one of those things where it's like honestly, when it came to the original Carolina Herrera Good Girl, when it came to the original Carolina Herrera Good Girl, it was so hyped up that I really just avoided it for a very, very long time. However, I love to do blind buy reviews. I love to find affordable fragrances that are super accessible. And so I noticed Burlington was selling a lot of these. Like pretty much every time I was going into a Burlington, I seen a bottle of Good Sky Girl. So I was like, okay, let me just try it. So I'm here to give you this review because you know what? If you go to a Burlington and you like to shop your perfumes in affordable places and want them to be super accessible, this is likely to be an option. If you see it within like at least sometime within the realm of the summer of 2024 at a Burlington, you are likely to come across this. But this is available online as well. You would just have to look up the name Good Sky Girl and it goes for around like 25 bucks. Like so maybe about like a $10 difference than what Burlington would sell. So that's pretty much that. And the only complaint that I would have about this perfume is that the packaging is kind of cheap, which was it kind of sucked because when I take off the cap here, I want to see, when I take off the cap here, the cap comes off. It comes off in two pieces sometimes, so that's frustrating. Also, this gold piece comes off, and this is the handle for the perfume. And it's definitely not supposed to, but it comes off. The glue adhesive, I guess, just got loose. I use a lot of like body oils and lotions and stuff when I'm getting ready. That helps my fragrances last a long time, and I guess like using it in combination to this perfume, it made the gold piece come off its plastic up here, whereas the bottle was glass. So that was a little disappointing because now when I spray, I have to take both pieces off, and honestly, it's a little bit awkward holding this bottle without the gold piece because I was very much using that as like my spray handle. However, I mean, that is good Sky Girl, and I do enjoy this fragrance. I did enjoy this fragrance, and so I'm gonna put it back. Um, I I think it's very good. I think that in combination, I wore this in combination with Flaunt Rouge. I think they make a very beautiful, sexy, feminine combination. Smells absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Like the combination of Flaunt Rouge and Good Sky Girl would be so mass appealing. Like I'm not a perfume TikTok person, but like I just hate. I would hate. I already have a habit of buying perfumes obsessively. If I got on perfume TikTok, y'all, it will be crazy because I already know that people are buying perfumes left and right based off of how much rave over they get. And I know for a fact that if other people put their noses under Mirada, Good Sky Girl, and Joseph Prive's Flaunt Rouge, the internet would totally break. I promise you, it is that good. It is that good. However, for me, I did wear this about 3 times out of the week, that combination about 3 times out of the week. And although it wasn't bad, it was a little bit sweeter for me because personally, when it comes to my ideal fragrance types, I like to go for something a little bit spicy. So, on the contrary, after about 3 or so days of wearing Good Sky Girl and Flaunt Rouge to work, I actually did a little bit of a switch up and I aimed for Velvet Collection Orient Musk. So this is a perfume that I picked up from Burlington. I think it may be around like 15.99, 14.99, or 16.99, something around that. Not Burlington, TJ Maxx, somewhere that I picked up around that price range. This is by Milestone, another Middle Eastern perfumer who does really great perfume dupes, and it has an excellent atomizer that has a lot of spray and a lot of control. And this one also performs like a beast. Honestly, this is one of my favorite perfumes in my collection. So, Orient Musk has notes of saffron, cardamom, cumin, damask rose, nagar mother, sandalwood, musk, tonka bean, and ambroxan, and cedarwood. It is a very spicy kind of, I would say like spicy, warm, woody, musky scent, and like I love this scent. I mean, oh my gosh, like when I wear this, it smells like how it smells when you walk into like an herbal shop in like Chinatown, like one of those shops that are selling like teas and herbs and spices. It smells so good. And this is a unisex scent. This is actually a unisex scent that is a dupe for Dolce and Gabbana Velvet Oriental Musk, or Velvet Orient Musk, or something like that. But it's part of their Velvet line, and Milestone did duplicate Dolce and Gabbana's Velvet Musk, I mean Velvet line, by replicating about 4 different perfumes of that line, and this just happens to be my absolute favorite out of that line, and one of my favorites in my entire collection. And y'all, I have like over 100 perfumes, some travel sizes, many travel sizes, but I have only over 100 perfumes in my collection. And so I do these videos because I just want to show y'all what I have without actually like putting 100 bottles in your face and be like, look at this, look at this, look at that. Like, I want to give y'all like a real thought out perspective on this. And the reason why I reached for Velvet Collection Orient Musk was because on the contrast, it's not very sweet. It's spicy, but it's like a musky spicy. It's not something that makes you sneeze. It's very warm. It's very well blended, very well rounded, gorgeous, gorgeous, like spice musk kind of scent. Um, I don't think that it leans necessarily super masculine or super feminine, only in the aspect that it smells like some like an ambiance. It smells like a space more or less than it smells like an actual person. Like you know how like you be at somebody's house for a long time or you be in a certain environment for a long time, maybe you'll be outside for a long time and then you kind of smell like outside. Like Oriental Musk just smells like you've been in like a apothecary for a very long time, or like maybe like some sort of like herbal shop for a long time. It smells beautiful. I love it down. And of course, when it comes to Orient Musk, I actually did combine this with China Musk. And this Wellos China Musk type oil is a oil that I picked up from the beauty supply store, my local beauty supply store, for about $9.99. It's just a very musky, kind of vanilla, rosy, spicy, ambery kind of musky oil, and it very much complements Orient musk very well in the way that they have like those like kind of spicy Oriental notes. And like China musk isn't necessarily, I don't want to say that it's spicy, but it has like kind of like a unique kind of aromatic, ozonic, a little bit aquatic kind of smell to it. Like it smells like, to me, I would describe the best way I've described China Oriental musk. I mean China musk type oil would be like how it smells after it rains. I love that smell. Like that's how it makes me feel. It smells very fresh, very warm, just very like ambery, musky. Like it smells like the air is new. Like I really, really love China Musk type. And if you've seen my first perfume tray video, you've probably seen me rave about that body oil. It's one of my favorite body oils. So, of course, I had to pick it up and pair it with one of my favorite perfumes. It's a staple in my collection. So, that is what I wore during the last 2 days of my work week, and honestly, I would say that like this is one of those heavy hitters to where like it's lasts all day. No need to reapply. I really only have to use about like 3 sprays from Orient Musk before it to like settle in and smell very good. It can be beast mode if I wanted to overspray it, but it doesn't have to. It has like a nice, comfortable projection for me. Like as long as I can smell it loud and clear within my scent bubble, I don't need to go crazy and make everybody else smell it. Sometimes perfumes just do that to where everybody will smell it by default. But Orient Musk, I think it's one of those scents to where it's like it's unique enough to where people don't actually know if it's me that smells good. They just think that like they're just like, oh, that smells good. What is that? Like it doesn't necessarily draw compliments like how Flaunt Rouge would draw compliments, where it's like one of those things that is immediately attention getting, like, wow, what is that? Like this one's a little bit more subtle. I'm a little bit more, I don't want to say like natural smelling, but it's just a little bit more subtle, more easygoing. It kind of like creeps up to you. It's a more comforting kind of scent, I feel, than Flaunt Rouge and Good Sky Girl are a little bit on the like sweeter side. So that is those two, or those four rather, that I wore during my work week. Now, let me tell you about the other ones that I have. So, I have another perfume that I wear, and every week I always pick a citrus perfume to wear to the gym because I feel like whenever I sweat, citruses usually just work the best for my skin type. And they're fresh and they're usually a little bit less like annoying when you smell somebody at the gym and they have a perfume on, and it's like if it's like too floral or too sweet or too smoky or too spicy or too gourmand or whatever, it can be a lot at the gym. But I find that like more like ozonic, aquatic, airy, citrus citrusy kind of scents tend to work pretty well at the gym. And so this is called Olivia Blake um, Fressia and Pear. This is actually inspired by um, Joe Malone, English Pear, and Fressia. And so this has notes of pear, melon, freesia, rose, musk, patchouli, amber, rhubarb, and rhubarb. And I feel like this is a very like sparkling, crisp green kind of scent. The patchouli in this is very green. The pear in this is very green. The freesia in here is very crisp, very sparkling smelling. I don't really get notes of the rhubarb in here, I won't lie, but the amber kind of balances everything out. I do like this. It's not my favorite, but I feel like I do like this in terms of wearing it to the gym. And the only reason why I say this isn't my absolute favorite is because I find that like this brand, Olivia and Blake, they do a lot of dupes. For Joe Malone perfumes. And one thing that I actually want to touch on is that I did purchase this from Marshall's and was purchased for $12.99. So I think that in comparison to the actual price point of Joe Malone, that's a steal because it does perform very similarly to Joe Malone. Because Joe Malone, it smells very good, it projects very well, but it also doesn't last very long. And I feel like this has the same kind of behavior. Like it projects well in the moment, but after about like 2 to 4 hours, it's pretty much gone. And so this one, it does dry down to be like somewhat of a skin scent. There's some projection to it, not a lot, but just a decent amount, something that's comfortable and average, you know. Like you'll definitely have your walk past air smelling good, but there won't be like a lingering scent behind you. And I mean, I think that's okay. It's fair. I have made a little bit of a dent in here. I've used this a little bit. This is not the first week I've picked this up, and when I spray this, I can usually kind of drench myself. It doesn't become too like terrible if I overspray this. I actually prefer to overspray it than to underspray it because I feel like underspraying it is fine. It just doesn't have as much lasting power as if I were to just spray like maybe 15 sprays of this instead of like two or three. This doesn't perform, it's not a beast. It's a way more subtle, way more mild. So it doesn't perform like Orient Musk or Flaunt Rouge, but it does have a nice scent to it and a nice performance. And it's just something that's just very easygoing, especially in warm weather, the summertime, or if you're sweating. So I do like English Pear or Fressia. I think that ideally, the type of person who would wear this would be someone who just likes a more mild, subtle scent. People who are more sensitive to fragrances might lean towards that Olivia Blake London line that does a lot of replications of Joe Malone. Because I feel like maybe the thing about Joe Malone is the perfumers behind Joe Malone, I think that they like the idea of like that first initial impact, the way that a top note behaves. Like they like the idea of smelling good right away, smelling good upon first impact, but one of those scents that doesn't have to bother you throughout the day. You know, it's something you spray and you forget. You know, and I think that it does the job. It does what it's supposed to do. You know, sometimes we want to be sweet, we want something that lingers and follows us everywhere. Sometimes we just want to smell good in the moment. Know that we smell good, feel clean, you know, just top off our like, you know, wash regimen with a nice spritz and then go about our day. Whereas some people really just come for the beast. So I actually like this one because it's quite opposite of the other ones that I have on my tray. So if I'm like looking to be like not as like if I'm looking for something that's just like a little bit more refreshing and easygoing, I would want to reach for Fressia and Pear, which is why I predominantly wear that to the gym. I go to the gym about 3 to 5 times a week, so that's a nice it's that's the reason why I say I've made like a nice little dent in that one too. Because I also like just side note, not that nobody needs to know this, but I do shower multiple times a day. I take like at least 2 showers a day. So it's like one pre gym and then one like pre work or pre whatever activity I'm gonna get into. And then if you know, if in the case like I go to work, come home, I usually take another one, and I might take another one just to clean off before I get into my bed, and so I can feel fresh and clean and rejuvenated, that kind of deal. So, the next scent that I have that I'd like to talk about is called Love Notes, and this is actually going to be by Ellen Tracy. I purchased this in a variety pack for Ellen Tracy for like about $9.99 at Burlington or $15.99, somewhere in that price range of $15 and $10. And it came in a variety pack of four. And I actually bought two different variety packs by Ellen Tracy, and so I have a total of 8 scents by Ellen Tracy, and this one is like the very best scent, I feel like. It is a little bit more mature. I think that one moment. I think that this is ideal for like somebody who again likes more. mild scents. The type of person who just doesn't want to like it. It does have a decent lasting power, but it doesn't last super long. It lasts about 2 to 4 hours, very much like Fressia and Pear by Olivia and Blake. Love Notes by Ellen Tracy. Um, it's nice. It smells very good. I say that the notes in here are raspberry leaf, pear, mandarin orange, exotic floral notes, lily of the valley, patchouli, cashmere, amber, and sandalwood. And when I smell this, I predominantly get the like a very green patchouli, the pear, some exotic florals. The lily of the valley adds like a powdery, mild touch to it, and the raspberry makes it like a slight, like fruity sweet. So I definitely think that like this is a nice scent. Again, it's not the kind of fruity that you will get in my Good Sky Girl. It's not that kind of fruity. It's not playfully fruity. It's not even like playfully like floral. It's kind of just like subtly like a nice brisk like it's like walking past like a flower bush in a garden, it's very subtle, very mild. It smells good, hardly noticeable, but if you just take the time to pay attention to it, you like this actually smells pretty nice. And I mean, that's pretty much what you get when it comes to Ellen Tracy perfumes. They're not beast perfumes. They're not that strong. Um, and so I mean, I think that like honestly Ellen Tracy did a pretty good job with this scent. Now, this bottle itself is half an ounce, and I'm just here to just show you the dent that I made in this bottle. This is not the first week that I wore this bottle. This is actually the second week. So I'm hoping that by the time I wear this bottle for a third week, I can knock this little dent out because I always just, I mean, I'm a perfume hoarder, but not really. Like, I be buying a lot of perfumes, but I really like to wear my perfume. So if I don't have to, I'm not gonna hold on to this. And although this smells good, it just doesn't perform that well. So although like if it performed longer and it projected more, I would buy the full size bottle of this, but I'm not gonna rebuy this once it empties. I'm just gonna let it empty out and be content with the experience that I had with this. Also, just wanted to add like another side note. This is one of those scents where it's like you can spray maybe like 5 or 6 sprays and it'll smell nice, but it'll disappear in like maybe in like an hour. So like I would prefer to overspray this just a little bit like a body spray, just because its longevity is so short and it is very much a skin scent. So if you want this to project in any kind of way, you kind of have to overspray it. But this scent is the scent that I actually wore to bed during the week, so I don't really mind that it doesn't have that much lasting power because I really just like this scent because it's so mild and it's so floral and gentle. It's just a nice, relaxing scent to fall asleep to. It kind of helps alleviate my mood, alleviate my emotions. It makes me feel more calm. So that is Love Notes by Ellen Tracy. And as for the very last fragrance that I have on my scent tray, I want to talk to you about Banana Republic's Grassland. So, Grassland by Banana Republic has notes of mint, apple, pomelo, bergamot, lavender, ozonic notes, geranium, petitgrain, ambergris, moss, sandalwood, patchouli, and vanilla. This was actually purchased from Burlington for around like 12.49, $13, something like that. This is I believe this is a 1 fluid ounce bottle, 30 milliliters. And this is actually new in my collection. I bought this maybe about a month or so ago, and this is the very first time I ever actually wore it. And so the reason that I even purchased this was a blind buy for me. Indeed, it was. And the reason why I even purchased this in the first place is because I have 3 other Banana Republic scents that I absolutely adore. They're called Tobacco and Tonka Bean. Super good, super gourmand, and like kind of warm, vanilla-esque kind of Tonka Bean. Um, the second one I have is called Dark Cherry and Amber. Very good cherry scent, very warm, very well rounded, very well blended. And then the third one I have is called Neroli Woods, which is as it's called, it's a very like nice citrusy, and energetic kind of neroli scent that is well rounded out with some woods. So when I came across Grassland, I just figured that, hey, this is bound to be a good one because I had other three Banana Republic blind buys that were an absolute hit for me. So I'll try this out. And this is supposed to be a unisex scent, but it is more masculine leaning. To me, this smells like Irish Spring. I've watched reviews, I've seen reviews of this on Fragrantica. A lot of people say that this smells like Green Irish Tweed by Creed. So if you really like that scent, but you don't want to spend any Creed money, give this a try first and see if this is up your alley. But it just smells very fresh, very ozonic, very crisp. There's a lot of lavender here that you can smell. You can smell the mint. And the moss and the ambergris. I like it, but I don't think this is one of my personal scents that I would always reach for. So honestly, I'll give this another go and see if it fares well better for me. But I personally think it smells like it does smell like Irish Spring. So don't get me wrong, it has a mild smell. It doesn't project like crazy, and it lasts all day. But I think on me, it doesn't smell super masculine, but it reminds me of like a grandfather or someone's dad. It leans a little bit mature for me, in my opinion, but I'm not always the one to wear cologne anyway. So I will say, like, I'm not the cologne expert. I like perfumes. I talk about perfumes. That's my niche. Whereas like more masculine scents, I can do a unisex scent, but like more masculine scents aren't necessarily like I'm not the best descriptor of those. So I'll leave that where it's at. Um, Grassland is nice. It does have like it does have kind of have like a calming kind of aromatic effect in the way that the lavender plays a role in here, but also like the lavender and the patchouli and the moss are very green in this, so it's nice. It smells much like what it's called. It's Grassland, so I think that's pretty fair. However, I think if I don't like this in the next wear, I'll probably give this to like my brother or a guy friend or something like that, just because it's not my favorite. I made like a slight dent in here this week. I wore this once, and it was okay. I wore this once during the day, and it was okay. I didn't love it. If anything, I might wear this around the house, but or maybe spray it like on my furniture or something. But I would reach for this again. So that's pretty much the last perfume in my collection that I've wore for this past week. So if you made it to the end of the video, I definitely appreciate you hanging out with me and watching this. Um, Let me know if you have tried any of these perfumes. If you want to try any of these and you're having a hard time finding them, definitely leave a comment and I can try to drop you a link or something. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.